Welcome to the McAfee and Taft webinar series. The topic for this webinar, 403B Plan Document and Compliance Update. For many years, the IRS offered little guidance to governmental or tax-exempt employers as to the specific plan document requirements applicable to 403B retirement plans. Recently, however, the IRS has approved model and prototype plan documents that sponsors of 403B plans can adopt to ensure document compliance. As a result, your plan document vendor or service provider may be contacting you in the next few months to offer to restate your plan. This process may appear to be routine, but can result in significant exposure to liability if not evaluated carefully. In addition, the IRS has indicated that it is stepping up its audit activity with respect to such plans. So now is an opportune time to get your plan document in order and to otherwise review your plan's compliance. In this presentation, we will discuss the process and deadline for adopting the new pre-approved 403B plan documents and provide guidance to plan sponsors on how to avoid and correct common plan errors. Our presenters are McAfee and Taft employee benefits attorneys John Paparonis and Jim Prince. Both represent employers of all sizes on matters involving qualified retirement plans, health and welfare plans, and executive compensation. Both are frequent speakers and authors on employee benefits issues. So, with those introductions, I now turn it over to you, Jim.
Thank you, Brad, and thank you everyone there for tuning into this webinar. 403B plans are really limited to select employers, and that includes public schools, including universities and colleges, and private charities that are qualified under Section 501c3. And as I mentioned, they're specialized plans, and they have a special sort of history. They didn't arise in the manner that other retirement type vehicles did. They were more related to insurance products beginning prior to the 1950s. And in 1958 was the first legislation related to 403B plans, which really just included a limitation. And so 403B, the section of the Internal Revenue Code where the plans get their names, started out as simply a limitation on the amount that individuals could defer from compensation under what were referred to as tax-sheltered annuity contracts. So these plans arose from these individual insurance-type products, and therefore, for many years, they were not treated in the same manner as other retirement plans, in that there were no specific or comprehensive plan documents related to these arrangements, and often were just covered by individual contracts with individual employees. So from the 1950s until probably the late 1990s, 403B plans were virtually ignored by the Internal Revenue Service, at least as far as providing guidance as to what is required of 403B plans. There were no regulations, and there were few pronouncements related to 403B plans. In the late 90s, early 2000, the IRS determined that probably wasn't the best approach and proposed regulations, a fairly comprehensive set of regulations for 403B plans. The regulations became final in 2007, and they included a requirement that an employer adopt a formal plan document for their 403B arrangements. Now, although they imposed this requirement that there be a plan, and that we had regulations then that indicated what the plan should include, there was no approval process similar to what we have with other qualified plans, where you could submit your plan document for a determination letter, nor were there any pre-approved documents like we have for 401k and other retirement plans. So the Internal Revenue Service, also recognizing that that's a problem for employers, has now adopted at least a pre-approved plan process.